What a Strictly Come Dancing show. The numbers are really dwindling now, and it is getting really tough to guess who is going to go. But I was not expecting who did. I am so gutted after learning who will be leaving the show tonight. I absolutely love them. It shows how unpredictable the show is, but I am not at all happy with that result. They had a difficult dance and I thought their song was all wrong, but it was a real shock to see what will happen tonight. I am going to miss seeing them in the show a lot, but this is definitely our first Strictly surprise. To start off, I have to give a shout out to Balvinder. She has done incredibly well to make it to the last 8 after having so many knocks. You can tell she has really been working hard to improve, and while I think she played it a little bit safe last night, I think Shush has been brilliant. You can see her develop each week, and it can be hard to get out of your head when you keep landing in the dance-off, but she just keeps brushing it off and making the most of her time on the show, which I really commend. I do have one big complaint about the show last night, which I think has really been affecting things. I watched with my friend, and we both commented on how horrible the music was last night for a number of stars. The songs are supposed to excite your emotions. It is so important to get the viewers to connect to you, and when it's not right, it can really knock your performance. There seemed to be no dynamic to the arrangements, and there were a lot of songs that I didn't know, which can make it harder to connect with the dance. I really hope they choose some better songs and arrangements next week, or some stars could be in real trouble. I definitely thought that if Lewis and Katya had a better song, they would have received a 40 from the judges, because the dance itself was sublime. It was an amazing tango, and was again perfectly choreographed, but it didn't have the passion I was looking for, and I think it's down to the music. It just didn't give us anything. However, the music can work both ways, and Lavoie benefited from a good song. Technically, she didn't give the best performance of the night, but Don't Rain on My Parade is such an emotional song that you get swept up in it, so she got away with it. But back to Lewis, I do think H has got an incredible star quality that makes you want to watch him. To be honest, if he left, I think I would struggle to keep watching the show because H is such a standout star to me. I would be so disappointed to see him go. I think Amber Davies and Alex Kingston are strong contenders, as I do love watching him, but Lewis is definitely my winner so far. H has got the whole package. George is another very watchable person for me, and I've loved him from day one. He was marked down a bit, which I know people weren't very happy about. I thought it was very sweet of him to talk about his ill mum, and it really helped me connect with him, but he wouldn't have wanted a sympathy vote from Craig. I nearly always agree with him, even though people think he can be tough. He may be a bit harsh sometimes, but it is a dancing competition, and you cannot give honest feedback on technique because you feel sorry for them. It just isn't fair on anyone. I saw what James Jordan said about the show needing a shake-up with Tess and Claudia leaving, and I do see what he means. When Paul and I were on TV together, we would always ask the bosses to change things up, but it was small things, like the set. We would never have messed with the formula. With Tess and Claudia going, that will be a big enough change already, and you don't want the show to become unrecognizable. The producers have always been good with keeping it fresh with small changes, and that reflects in the viewing figures. I think a big part of the show is that you grow fond of the pros and want to keep cheering them on the same as the celebs. We don't want the show to stray too far away from what we know and love. Sometimes shows make huge changes and they lose the magic formula, and you can't go back to what you had. But I do think it's a great idea to bring in some young, British dancers, but they need to be the right people. They need to be just as good at dancing, just as good at choreographing, but also a person that's prepared to step back from the limelight and let their celebrity be the star. For now, I'm still looking forward to each week, and that includes seeing the judges and the pros we've got.